Welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Sean Anderson, and on today's edition, we're going to be talking Pohai swimming here in just a little bit. But first, Coach Jody Fincher with the Ponca City Lady Cat basketball team. And what's the ranking? What's the ranking right now?
Well, we're number 8 right now.
Number 8 in the state.
Number 8 in the state, yes, sir. And you know, have played pretty well. Haven't played our best basketball, and I told the girls, we've beaten some good teams and won some games, but we haven't played our best, and that should be scary for the rest of 6A.
There you go. Well, the winter break is coming up. There are some big games coming up right as we get into January. We're going to talk about those in a moment. Right now, as you're watching this, earlier this week on Monday, Lady Cats going out. We're, of course, filming this on Monday. So this afternoon they're going to go out. They're going to do some mentoring at Trout Elementary. Tell me about this. This is really cool for the Lady Cats, the basketball players, to get out there, your athletes to go out there and mentor the younger kids. Tell us how this came about.
Well, we just, it's giving back. We've read to some of the elementary schools in the past, and we just, thought it was an opportunity for us, since we don't have a game this week, to go out and spend some time in the schools and just give back a little bit and mentor to the young kids in the district, and just kind of let them know who we are, and just let us give back to somebody else, spend some time for somebody else, and just looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you have been following along, the Lady Cats, of course, ranked 8th in the state. No game this week, and a winter break. When you come back January 5th for Sand Springs, that's a big game. Will there be any practices or anything over the winter break? What's the preparation? Will you just hit it hard when you get back?
Oh, no. We'll practice the rest of this week. We'll have at least 2 scrimmages just to try to keep our rhythm and give them something to do besides practice. But just a lot of fundamentals, just working on stuff that we see that we need to fix, and just get better and get ready to make a run at a state championship.
Yeah, Sand Springs next up for the Lady Cats on January 5th. Can you kind of size up Sand Springs for us?
Well, I mean, they were number 1 when we beat them, and they're still in the top 10. But just a great basketball team. They've got 2 Division I signees and a Division II signee, and a great basketball team. And they're expected to be in the thick of it, come playoff time, and we'll have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, the Lady Cats had an amazing performance in defeating Sand Springs in that game earlier, and now Sand Springs are going to, now you're going to be in their place. How is that going to affect things?
Well, it shouldn't affect things as far as what we do, but they'll be fired up. They'll want to beat us. They'll want to avenge that loss.
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
And we know that, and we'll use that as motivation to help us understand that we've got to work harder than we have, because it's only going to get tougher.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up, homecoming, January 8th. Guthrie will be in Robson Fieldhouse for that game. Guthrie, what kind of a team do they have?
They're a top 25A team. They've got a couple good players that really stand out, and it's going to be a tough matchup. And we're going to need Robson filled up, and get that home crowd going. It really makes a difference. But Guthrie will be a good opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can hear all of the Lady Cat games on 100.7 FM KPNC and the video stream at pohaisports.com. Having that radio coverage and getting more exposure and stuff like that, what does that do for your team?
Oh, well, we love it. We love the exposure. If you can't make it to the games, then we have people all the time say, "Hey, I listened to the game, or I watched the game," and Jordan Woodruff and those guys, they do a great job. And I enjoy visiting with Jordan before each game and during the boys' game at halftime, and I kind of like doing that kind of stuff anyway. But I love talking Lady Cat basketball because I'm pretty passionate about it, and Jordan does a great job in helping get us exposure. So we're really thrilled about that.
Yeah, I really do. And now I got to tell you, there's plenty more basketball to come. January 5th, Sand Springs. January 8th, homecoming, and then from there, where do we go?
Well, we have the Westmore tournament where we drew Sapulpa, who's a top 15 6A team, and it's just going to be another opportunity to play against 6A opponents and measure up where we're at.
All right. Talk about individual performances before we wrap this up, or just some players you want to give some kudos to. Maybe they've been working really hard in practice. Maybe they haven't even been in a game yet, but you see some dramatic improvement.
Well, Karis Brandstetter played really well last week. Really pleased with she and Madison Birnbaum and some of our young kids. Randy Kimball got into a game at the Tournament of Champions, and we're excited about her future. Ashlyn Fincher, those young kids are starting to get it figured out, and which is just going to help our depth. But Cassandra Lyons, Amaya Chandler, they just working hard in practice, and they're continuing to get better, which makes the entire team better. And about every night we play just about everybody, and it really helps us, at the end of the game.
How does that leadership, that strong leadership you have on your team, how does that help everyone?
Well, Madison Birnbaum does a good job on the court, and she does a good job off the court. They have a lot of respect for Madison, and just that she goes out and she does her job every night, and she works hard, and so we are really proud of our leadership and excited about the future, the rest of this season, but also next year as well.
Yeah. Jody Fincher, the head coach of the Lady Cat basketball team, on Coach's Corner. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, Heather Harris, the head coach of the Pohai swim team, was scheduled to join us. She had a conflict there. She has a class she's teaching right now. That occasionally happens. Do want to update you. The boys and girls swim teams are both 4-1 on the season, and they had a really good showing in Stillwater. The boys ranked second, came in second in the Stillwater Invitational, and the girls were third in that Invitational. Now, there's a meet coming up on the 22nd. They're going to be traveling. The swim teams will travel to Edmond for that, and that'll be right before the Christmas break as they are continuing to swim and continuing to work on their times as they get ready for regionals and, of course, state. So very successful Pohai swim team as well, and we'll catch Coach Heather Harris on another edition of Coach's Corner. Well, my thanks to Coach Fincher and to Heather Harris for providing me some information for the Pohai swim team, and Go Cats. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Sean.